class. In the second round against Roberto Duran, Hearns showed everyone that his right hand was still a lethal weapon.
Hearns trying to tie him up. Duran backs up. A big right hand by Hearns, and down goes Roberto Duran. A huge right hand by Tommy Hearns, and it's all over.
Tommy Hearns' devastating knockout of Roberto Duran convinced him that he was now ready to move up to the next weight class. Less than 1 year later, Hearns would take on the world middleweight champion, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, in an attempt to win his third world title.
Over its life, a motorcraft.
Tommy, in 1985, you decided to move up to the next weight class, middleweight, in search of your third world title. Your first fight in that division, I mean, you didn't pick a lamb. Why didn't you pick somebody easy? You picked the champion, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. What were your thoughts going into that fight? I mean, why didn't you pick somebody easy?
Because throughout my whole entire career, I never fought easy fights. I mean, you know, I go out and just take an easy fight because it's there. I believe in taking on the top contenders in the weight division and showing my ability, showing that I had a great ability to be in there with any fighter, any man. And that's why we picked Marvin Hagler.
The match between Thomas Hearns and Marvelous Marvin Hagler was billed simply as the fight. But it turned out to be a toe-to-toe war from the opening bell. The champion Hagler was usually a slow starter, but in this fight, he came out aggressively and tried to match the hitman blow for blow. In the third round, the referee momentarily stopped the fight when Hagler began bleeding heavily from a cut on his forehead. When he was allowed to continue, Hagler became desperate to end the fight.
Hagler trying to throw those big bombs. Hearns trying to stay away and keep Hagler off him using that jab. Hearns continues to back up. A right hand staggers Tommy Hearns. Hagler chases him. Hagler trying to finish him off, lands another right hand, and Tommy Hearns crumbles to the canvas.
With this knockout, Thomas Hearns suffered only his second loss in 42 fights. But as was the case with every Hearns fight, it was one to remember. Hagler's strategy of coming out strong from the opening bell came as a surprise to almost everyone.
Hagler, I think felt a little threatening of me. He knows that what kind of ability I have, the ability of getting in there and taking my opponent out at any given time. And I guess Hagler wanted to go in there and establish himself and not come in with a slow start. So he had to go, and he kind of like had to pick up the pace. And he did well. He picked it up the pace and he hung in there.
Hearns recovered from his knockout loss and continued his search for another championship belt. On March 7th, 1987, Hearns took on the WBC light heavyweight champion, Dennis Andres. The hitman's devastating right hand proved to be too powerful for Andres, as he knocked down the defending champion 6 times. After winning world titles as a welterweight and super welterweight, Hearns now added the light heavyweight title to his collection in just his first appearance in the 175-pound weight division.
Tommy, you knocked Andreas out in the 10th round. This gave you a third world title. No one had ever won 4. How important was it for you to win that 4th title?
Well, during the impossible dream that people told me that it's impossible to do. No man had ever done that. And when they told me that, it made me more eager to get out there and fight for the title, try to be the first man in the history of boxing to win 4 world titles in 4 different weight divisions. And people just kept trying to pound it in my head and say, you can't do that, man. It's never been done before. The greatest fighters have tried that, and they have not been successful. I said, well, these are the 80s, and I'm here in the 80s. It's Thomas Hearns in the 80s, and I'm going to show you that dreams do come true.
In his very next fight, Hearns took on middleweight champion Juan Roldan in an attempt to win his 4th world title. Roldan was a powerful brawler from Argentina with 41 knockouts under his belt. After suffering a barrage of heavy hits, Tommy battled back in the 4th round, displaying the heart of a great champion.
Both fighters look a little tired here as Mills Lane, the referee, steps between them. Good left hook to the body by Thomas Hearns. Roldan missing with the overhand right. A good right hand by Hearns. Roldan is hurt and down he goes. Juan Roldan.